It's debut day for Andrew Abbott. The Reds and Brewers close out their series. It's curtains up on the 24-year-old left-hander, one of the top pitching prospects in the Reds organization. And a pleasant good evening. Welcome on back to Reds Baseball alongside our captain, the Hall of Famer, Barry Larkin. I'm John Sadak. Jim Day on the way in just a bit. But Andrew Abbott has been on his way seemingly since spring. He overwhelmed AA, was very good at AAA, and has the most strikeouts in minor league baseball this year.
Yeah, and let's see if he can harness his emotion. We've seen a lot of young guys come up. This is the time for these players to get their job, get their opportunity at the big leagues. For the most part, the guys have really done a nice job. Let's look if Andrew Abbott can continue to do the same thing.
Outstanding stuff. Second-round pick out of Virginia. He was a strikeout maven in his days at a collegiate national power. That has spilled into pro ball at the minor league level. We'll see what happens at the major league level. He's got 41 on his back, same number that Tom Seaver wore, and the old left-hander Joe Nuxhall. But as we welcome in Jim Day, Jimmy, there's another big name, also a lefty, that's inspired Abbott on his route to the big leagues.
There's no question about it. The guy alongside of you always talked about the influence that Dave Concepcion had on a young Barry Larkin. Well, for Andrew Abbott, he also looks up to a former big leaguer.
Biggest role model to me that's kind of like it was a baseball player is Billy Wagner.
Really?
Yeah. I had him as a travel ball coach when I was like 14 or 15.
Really?
And he kind of instilled the reliever kind of moxie in me, and that I took to UVA and haven't lost it since. I did. I sent him a text this morning and said, I was like, it's going to be official here pretty soon, but I just want to let you know that I got the call. And he said, congrats. I'm happy for you and your family. Because I train at UVA in Charlottesville, and he teaches at the private school like 15 minutes away. So it was pretty nice to see him every now and then.
Now, it's usually the other way around, but Andrew Abbott is a converted reliever, and he said that Wagner instilled upon him the reliever moxie is what he called it, and that's being a bulldog inning by inning, take one inning at a time. When he was converted to a starter, however, well, he's got to do it inning by inning, but hopefully it's 5 or 6, 7 times a night. So, gentlemen, a big night, always exciting when a lefty comes through the system.
It will be electric. The 7th Red to make his debut this year. Thank you, Jimmy. And the Pups are becoming big dogs, Lark, because even beyond Andrew Abbott, Matt McLain is showing both in the field and at the plate he can do it.
Yeah, he's had a really nice welcome to the big leagues. He just has done such a nice job. Defensively, you know, the question was, is this guy a shortstop, a second baseman? He is a baseball player. It doesn't make a difference. The one thing, his tool is definitely his ability to grind it out and his ability to swing the bat. He has done a fantastic job in his short time here in Cincinnati.
Well, McLain has been steady in the second position in the order, and the hit tool is certainly a consistent one for the outstanding rookie. The Reds might need all of it tonight. We go to break, but we're back. It's a sweep story they hope to avoid. The Brewers try to reach some rare air. Cincinnati Reds baseball on Bally Sports Ohio is brought to you by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Cincinnati. By Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time. And by Nissan. We make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop USANissan.com. Our storylines presented by Elk and Elk. The Reds and Brewers have had a 4-game series 25 times. Only twice has there been a sweep. May of '02, the Reds in Milwaukee. August '03, the first year of Great American Ballpark. The only 4-game sweep by the Brewers against the Reds. It happened right here. Andrew Abbott and company will try to avoid it. He makes his major league debut when we're back. Drafted just 2 years ago, AA to begin this season, to the big league mound tonight. Andrew Abbott makes his splash in the show as the Reds try to avoid the sweep at the hands of the Brewers. A proud moment for the family. His dad David, his mom Jeanette, and other family members here on hand to take in the scene as the lefty ascends the big league mound for the first time. His numbers in the minors, Lark, dominant.
Yeah, he absolutely dominated in the minor leagues, and the scouting report on Andrew Abbott is that he throws all the pitches. But it's important for him to establish that fastball up in the zone. He's not a high velocity guy. He's low to mid 90s. But when he's getting swings on balls up in the zone, that's telling you that he's got carry on his ball is somewhat deceptive, and his ability to go downstairs and change the eye level of the hitters is the key to his success.
Oh, Abbott ready to go, facing a Brewers ball club that's won 3 in a row, 5 of 7. The Reds attempt to snap a 4-game slide. Owen Miller leads off. Fastball up as we're underway. Miller leading off for just the 8th time. Christian Yelich normally has those duties. He's batting cleanup against the left-handed Abbott. Now the Brewers have won 9 of their last 10 in this ballpark. Reds have lost 21 of the last 28 head-to-head against Milwaukee. Two one. Gets by. Luke Maile serves as the catcher. In the air to right, Will Benson. Abbott retires his first big league hitter. Full 9 for Milwaukee is authored by Craig Counsell. Andrew Monasterio has been really tough this series. This brought to you by Rally House. William Contreras, Yelich, Brian Anderson, Luis Arias, Rowdy Tellez, Joey Weimer, and Blake Perkins. Fastball strike. The reports that we've heard about Andrew Abbott cite his ability, his willingness to pitch to all 4 quadrants. He works up, down, in, and away, and it's not random. Swing and a miss. He has finish on that 4-seamer with rise, and he reads the swings.
Yeah, and the fact that he's getting swings early at that ball up in the zone opens up that ball downstairs. It's tough to catch up to that fastball up in the zone, and Abbott has enough deception to be able to throw that ball downhill and change the eye level of those hitters.
Runs in. Two. In the air to center. Fairchild secures the second out. Defense for the Reds, a few scratches today. TJ Hopkins was not in the original lineup. Stuart Fairchild was not the original center fielder. Will Benson was not originally at right. Newman, McLean, India, and Steer with Maile behind the plate. Jake Fraley was scratched, and Nick Senzel scratched. Backdoor strike on Contreras. Throughout his career, Abbott has often proved doubters wrong. The Gatorade Player of the Year in his native state of Virginia, a good baseball state. He was a modest draft pick out of high school by the Yankees. Decided to go get an elite education at Virginia, where he got a degree in biology in 3 years. That's hard to do, particularly while playing a demanding schedule of Division I baseball. He was undrafted after 3 years in college, the truncated COVID draft. He had only relieved to that point but made a starter the next season. He inked his name throughout the Virginia record books and launched himself to become a second-round pick. And in 2 years' time, he's in the big leagues. Fouled away. He joins Matt McLean as Reds picked in 2021, already in the big leagues. Command was a struggle at times at Double-A last year, but he returned to the level this year and was so video game overwhelming. It was a rocket ship ascent to Triple-A. Popped up. Bailey over, Steer as well, off the dugout roof. Blessed with 4 good pitches: fastball, curve, slider, and change. And that breaking ball is one he can add and subtract, both velocity and depth. Strikeouts his calling card in his dominant minor league days. 2-2. Just low. And he's getting a test from Contreras, who's a strong hitter. And he wants him.
Early in the game, we can already see what Andrew Abbott is attempting to do. I think he's doing a nice job of throwing up and down in the zone. We saw a fastball go between Luke Mailey's legs at 94 at the bottom of the zone. So it's not just fastballs up, change-ups down.
There's a curveball strike to start Yelich. Well, we spoke with David Bell before the game and asked him what has stood out about Abbott. One thing he pointed to was he's improved his abilities to get right-handed hitters out. Oddly enough, at Triple-A, lefties hit him better than righties. Gets a twisted swing and a miss from Yelich. Yelich does not chase, and his pitches are moving. Two. Abbott induced fly balls against Miller and Monasterio. Contreras made him work, earned a full count walk. Now facing the former MVP. And he strikes out Christian Yelich.
Well, If you're going to put somebody in the book, Christian Yelich is a great name. Congratulations and welcome to the big leagues.
Matt McLean, Jonathan India, Spencer Steer. Tyler Stevenson serves as the DH. Will Benson, Stuart Fairchild, TJ Hopkins second start in the show. Luke Maile behind the plate. Newman was not the original leadoff man. He got inked in when Jake Fraley got scratched, and they face Julio Teheran.
Julio Teheran is a 5-pitch pitcher. Sinker, slider, 4-seam fastball, changeup, curveball. He's been absolutely fantastic in his first 2 starts.
Hard ground ball, backhand Monasterio, and Newman is on, infield hit. That brings up another rookie, Matt McLean, who's in the driver's seat, presented by Hyundai. 18 games played this year. 9 times he's had 2 or more hits.
Wow.
Inside.
He was the first pick of the Reds in the 2021 draft. And Abbott got drafted in the 2nd round.
And McLean in his first 18 big league games. 9 RBIs thanks in part to 9 extra base hits and many loud outs. Joey Wiemer shading his eyes in center as Teheran misses low.
Looks like he stumbled on the mound. I've seen a few pitchers kicking at the dirt out there.
Hard ground ball, backhand stop Arias. Tall throw to second, and somehow Miller stayed on the bag. McLean reaches on a fielder's choice.
You talk about a good play. How about this right here? Urias totally airborne. Coming up and making a really good play. And as you said, nice play by Miller, staying on the bag at second base. But another ball scorched by Matt McLean.
Strike 1 to Jonathan India. Top 5 at runs scored in baseball. Oh, 2. Teheran now 32. He broke into the big leagues at 20 years old. That was in 2011. His most dominant run with the Braves came 2013. He was top 5 rookie of the year vote through 2016. Sinker ball man, got ground balls. But you may notice something that Craig Counsell pointed out to MLB.com shortly after his Brewers debut. He's dropped that arm slot these days. He's a little more 3/4. The fastball tops out at 91 plus. It sits 88 to 90. After his run with the Braves, he had a brief tryst with the Angels in 2020. Did not go well. 0-4 ERA over 10. The Tigers brought him in 21, a minor league deal. He won a job. Won his debut that April the 3rd. Injured shoulder. Did not pitch the rest of the year. And he split last year between Indie Ball and the Mexican League. The ball is on the field down the left field line. He was very solid in the Mexican Winter League in the offseason. Based on that, the Padres brought him in, minor league deal. He got rocked in the hitter-friendly PCL, but had an opt-out, and the Brewers had need. They have major injuries in their rotation. Swing and miss. He strikes out India.
That's the fastball right there. And you mentioned the arm slot a little bit different, a little more upshoot trajectory on that ball.
Larger lead for Newman, or excuse me, for McLean, who fakes, and Steer takes a strike. Changing his timing. Throw over. Now remember, the Reds had 14 steals in the first 2 games of the series. They did not attempt a steal yesterday. But while Tehran's line was great in his first 2 starts, he did allow 3 steals in his Brewers debut. McLean goes. Pitch missed in. Throw from a crouch. Great one, and got him. That's a heck of a throw by Contreras. Scoreless game, second inning. Andrew Abbott last year between A-ball and Double-A. Those numbers, the Reds minor league pitcher of the year. Strike one on Brian Anderson. And I felt like we could see some energy. Some maybe would call it nerves. Maybe fire.
28 pitches in that first inning. Yeah. There was you mentioned it, a lot of movement. I wonder how different the heart rate is this start of this inning than the last.
You know, it's funky because we were talking off air well before the game, and you were contrasting the emotional difference that you witness during some debuts today versus what you experienced.
Yeah, it seems like when players arrive, at least these players this year arrive to the big leagues, it seems like it's kind of seamless almost. It's almost like just the next step, the next obvious step in their path to the big leagues, obviously. I remember, and I was talking to Cowboy about this, I remember when I got called up. I don't think my feet touched the ground for the first week and a half at least. That doesn't seem to be the case with many of these young players that come up. And I mean, just think about some of the performances that we have seen. Matt McLean has been absolutely amazing. It just seems like there's nothing to affect him. How about the at bat the other day from TJ Hopkins? Right, with the bases loaded, his first major league at bat against one of the best relievers in the game in Devin Williams, and he took ball 4, bases loaded, RBI. I think I would have been swinging as soon as he picked his hand out of his glove. I think, you know, but it just seems like these players are just so prepared for this level of baseball. Definitely different.
Payoff fouled. And we did see some calming moments, it looked like, for Abbott. Some deeper exhales, the purposeful pause. Everybody's different. Everybody processes things differently. I kind of like that little edge.
Sure.
Just tight, and that's ball 4. He also perhaps has been squeezed a bit. I thought he had some balls in the lower third that looked pretty good in the first inning. A leadoff walk, and that brings up Urias. Fastball strike. In the dirt, nice smother by Bailey. Urias is back after a hamstring injury that came on opening day. He was running out of ground ball. His skipper called it a, quote, solid strain, and that meant a long rehab. He told Adam McCalvey of Brewers.com earlier today, it feels amazing to be back. It's been 2 months. It feels like it took forever. Touch tight. Elevates 3-1. An introspective moment for a super smart and talented young southpaw. Abbott turned 24 just on Thursday. So now the count runs full, as it did on Contreras, who walked, Anderson, who walked. Brewers have already fouled off almost a dozen pitches with 2 strikes and a little north of a dozen overall. And there's ball 4, back-to-back walks. Now Luke Maile out to chat with the young lefty.
Yeah, I'm sure this conversation is, listen, just like you did down in Louisville, nothing's changed. The only difference between this ballpark and Louisville is there's another tier. There's an upper deck here. Just try to calm the young guy down and refocus.
Rowdy Tellez in the bottom third with the lefty on the mound, comes out swinging. Fouls that upstairs fastball. Crack to left center. Hopkins had the read. Backpedal grab, tag at second on the deep fly ball. Anderson claims third, 1 out. Joey Weimer. Strike 1. Weimer singled and scored yesterday. He's been on base throughout the series. His biggest moment came on the first pitch he saw when the former UC Bearcat homered. It came in the second inning in the series opener. And you can feel the eagerness from this talented lefty. Rocked down the left field line. Foul. That is just wide of the pole. Swing and miss.
Talk about reading the swing of the hitter. Weimer being very aggressive. What do you do against an aggressive hitter? You start something up in the zone. Take advantage of his aggressiveness. Nice pitch.
It's like a pitching judo move there.
There it is.
Much needed strikeout for Abbott. Now the switch hitting Perkins. Fastball way up. Called strike. And most days, somewhere in that neighborhood is likely a critical pitch for Andrew Abbott. Way up. Now, one wrinkle for Abbott and all those in the Double-A Southern League when he was a Chattanooga lookout again at the start of the year. They're experimenting with a ball much like the Japanese professional ball that is pre-tacked. So it already has that sticky, tacky element applied in advance. Beautiful pitch.
Yes.
His numbers at Double-A were overwhelming. When he got to Triple-A, the spin came down a little bit, but he still pitched at a very high level. Strike three. Back-to-back Ks for Andrew Abbott.
Yet another major league debut here for the Cincinnati Reds. Andrew Abbott is through 2 scoreless innings. Jim Day up here with Mom and Dad. We got Jeanette and David here. And Mom, we will start with you. The same question I ask a lot of moms in your position. What are your emotions when you see your son on a major league mound right now?
Very proud. He's worked really hard to get where he is. He sacrificed a lot, and it's a dream come true.
Dad, how many baseball conversations involved the dream of getting to the major leagues?
Well, believe it or not, it started at an early age, around 8 or 9. A short story real quick. When he was 8 or 9 years old, we came to a Cincinnati Reds game. We sat down there right on the left field corner. And we came, and that was the days of Cueto and well, anyway, make a long story short, I bought this hat 15 years ago.
You bought that hat long before the Cincinnati Reds were ever in the picture for him.
Right. And anyway, he's talked about this for a long time, and he's done what he needed to do to get here.
Well, we've got a picture here. Now, you tell me about this picture right here. Now, Liz, that's him like 9 years old, I believe?
Yes, when we were here.
That is the picture of him here.
Yeah, that was that summer after we were here. We were heading to Grandma's house in Wisconsin.
Wow. So sometimes things are fateful, huh? That he's in a Cincinnati Reds uniform?
Well, what's kind of neat, yes, is I'm from Wisconsin. Yeah. So I've got family here that usually root on the Brewers.
Ah, we've converted them.
For tonight. So at least one. So.
How many people do you have here?
We have about 30, but I'd like to shout out to my youngest daughter, who is 37 weeks pregnant at home, so she could not make the trip, and also to Andrew's grandmother, who could not make the trip.
Well, shout out to them. Now, Dad, when did you know that you were onto something, that this kid's got it? He might be pretty good.
Very early. T-ball on up. He was always a little bit ahead of everybody. He always played up. He always liked to be challenged. He had a temper. He was a crier. He cried a lot. He threw a lot of stuff. But we stuck with him, and it developed from that.
Oh, he was a crier. We might not let that get into the clubhouse because they'll give him some grief down there.
We've got one of his pitching coaches here who helped get that mental game. where it needed to be.
Very nice. All right, Dad, real quick, strike three looking there. First two innings, obviously you want the pitch count down a little bit, but how's he handled it?
I think he's handled it pretty well. He's nibbling a little bit too much. I think he needs to concentrate on pitching to contact instead of trying to nibble at the corners. Just settle down. He'll do it. You'll see a different inning. You'll see a different inning next inning.
Looking forward to it. You guys did a terrific job. He's a terrific young man. Thanks for the time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. He was a Cincinnati Red at a young age, and here he is in the show. And we'll be back. It is scoreless at GABP.
Well, it was a dream when I was a kid, and not many dreams like this come true. So it's a great feeling. Just exciting.
You can feel that excitement. The wave is arriving. And that is beautiful. Abbott has feathered a few of those breaking balls to begin at bats. Right back to it. 0-2.
Well, that's what Pop said was going to happen, right?
He did. He called it. What a fantastic family. Just delighted for them. A monumental moment to see the crystallization of a dream. But in truth, it's just the start.
You know, John, I talk a lot about how the player responds. But behind every player is that support system, right? The parents, the caretakers, the family, the community, the college, the high school, the AAU, and on and on and on and on, the support system. The player makes it to the big leagues, but so does the family.
Two right to India. One away. You know, Andrew Abbott spoke about that visit to see a Reds game in his boyhood. And one of the distinct memories he had from that game is that Joey Votto was in that game. Joey Votto also made for one of his big moments in spring. On a stereo first pitch. That'll help. 2 down. He faced Votto in spring training, and it turned into a 10-pitch battle where Abbott was unleashing some of his best stuff. Votto was able to fight it off, take borderline pitches. And for Abbott, he reverted back to a decade plus earlier in his boyhood, watching Joey Votto. Here he is pitching to Joey Votto. And whenever Votto's back, he'll be a teammate of Joey Votto. Stops the comebacker, an efficient 1-2-3 inning. Kroger has teamed up with the Reds to offer the Kroger meal deal at the ballpark for just $9.50. It includes a hot dog, Coke, chips, and this homestand, Takis. For tickets to an upcoming Reds game, visit Reds.com. Well, Andrew Abbott aided by an 8-pitch inning. Took a couple of Brewers down on a single pitch. Let's see if the offense can give him some help. Stuart Fairchild. Julio Teheran struck out 3 Reds in a row. He's worked around an infield hit thanks to a caught stealing. As mentioned, the Brewers have seen their rotation ravaged by injury. Aaron Ashby, Brandon Woodruff, Old friend Wade Miley, Eric Lauer, all hurt, mostly shoulder injuries. So Craig Counsell's club needed a starter. That is blasted to left. Perkins spun around. Fairchild goes yard. His second shot of the season. And the Reds claim the lead.
Let's look at the location of this pitch right here. See, Tehran knew it when he let that ball go. That's just a flat fastball. And really good swing.
And he bit his mitt immediately with a look of pure anguish on his face.
Yeah, you know, once you let that ball go, you knew that was a mistake.
TJ Hopkins. Swing and miss.
Yep.
A two-time All-Star, the veteran hurler, facing another Reds rookie. His second start, his third game. Grounded through, base hit. The first base knock in the big leagues for TJ Hopkins.
Let's get that baseball. Throw that baseball in. Yes, sir. Congratulations, TJ. Of course, this is impressive. See a little two-seamer running in on the hands. TJ allowing that ball to travel. That was impressive, but I don't know if it was as impressive as his first major league at bat with the bases loaded the other night. 2 outs, I guess. I don't know if it was 1 or 2 outs, but Devin Williams just spinning it up there, and he took ball 4 for an RBI.
Luke Maile. That runs in. Maile catches well. He's hit fairly well. He shows power. He's also displayed leadership on this team.
It'd be really interesting to see what he could do if he got some consistent playing time. But obviously, with the 3 catchers, that makes it very difficult. But yeah, when he's had the opportunity to play, 13 starts, you can see his numbers right there. It's been impressive. Defensively, he's been good too.
Runner off, great jump. Maile fouls it back. Now, Hopkins did not have a stolen base try at AAA this year. In his minor league career, a solid but not outstanding 23 of 30 in steals. Efficient, but not the big volume. It almost seems like Tehran is consciously going in a touch farther. He so emphatically does not want to miss in that same spot he did against Fairchild.
Exactly.
He doesn't want it to be a ball either, but he's overcompensating. The Reds have already matched last year's stolen base total, and they've done so while cutting their caught stealings just about in half. Michael Conforto with the Giants said he saw more four-seamer from Tehran than he remembered. We haven't seen a ton of that. There's the four-seamer. It's fouled back. He made his Brewers debut just 2 hours after he inked his deal against the Giants. The 4 hits he allowed that day were all singles. Hard hit to short. Nice handle, Monasterio. Flipped to second, on to first. Double play.
Can't guide it, but you certainly can hit it hard. And Luke Maile did just that. Almost knocking Monasterio into the outfield.
A bit of a Mike Tyson's punch-out body blow there, but Monasterio has been very impressive on the series.
Sure has.
Newman has an infield hit to him earlier in the game. And remember, Monasterio was lifted yesterday. That came after Will Benson, trying to dive back into the bag, inadvertently caught him in the face with his lifted right hand. Home runs were a concern in AAA with the Padres for Tehran, 7 in 40 innings. Fouled back by Newman. Newman has produced well for these Reds. Entered at 277, but he's got more than 3 times as many hits as he does walks. And he takes ball 4. First walk from Tehran. Now consider for Tehran, we told you about it earlier in the series, his last start, he did not have any one of the 3 true outcomes. He went 6 innings, did not have a strikeout, did not issue a walk, did not allow a home run. Tonight he has struck out 3, he's walked 1, and he's let up a homer, and we're only in the 3rd inning. McLean reached on fielder's choice, was later caught stealing his first time. Crushed, but early. That's a bashed foul ball. That seems to be okay. McLean had 27 hits in his first 18 games. It's the 2nd most by any Red going back to 1901.
Yeah, Johnny's been super impressive.
Oh, 2. Opposite way, and it hangs. Anderson handles, but the Reds Lark have the lead.
Take it down on the farm. These are league players of the month in the Reds minor league. Southern League MVP of the month, Noelvi Marte, one of the top prospects. Julian Aguilar in the Midwest League. And we talked the other day about the Tyler Naquin trade. The young pitcher Acuna, John talked about it. Well, Hector Rodriguez is the other young player that was in that deal, and the deal is looking terrific right now. What a month for Hector Rodriguez as well in the Florida State League.
Well, thank you, Jim. And you were on both of those young men. You know, the early return on the trades that Nick Krall has executed for the Reds. Excellent. Now, they have to get here and produce or be leverage material to acquire other players, but they are playing at the levels they are at and doing well.
You're absolutely right. I'm glad you said that first part. They have to produce. Not every single trade is going to be a player that's going to play in a Cincinnati Red uniform, but every single player, in my opinion, that has been traded has been value added to the organization, meaning possibly a trade chip here or there, maybe a player to represent the team here in Cincinnati. But I think Nick and his group have done a fantastic job of not just getting quality players, getting quality men, young men that I think added value immediately to this organization.
Chop to first. Nice backhand steer. Abbott foot race. And he gets there ahead of Yelich. And I reflect back to a conversation that we heard about secondhand that makes total sense. It's one that you and I have had at other times too. Joel Luckup citing a combo he had with the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley, about the waves of prospects and the need to have more than one wave for replenishment or for leverage to fill positions of need. And this is the first wave. Yes. Abbott is part of that.
Absolutely. No, I think this organization is in position to compete at a high level. And when I say that, I'm not just saying play 500 baseball. I'm not saying win a division because nobody else is playing good baseball. I'm talking about being a real player, going out and dominating with there being an expectation to win, an expectation from the fan base. That's the reason they're going to show up, is because the fans want to win. Seeing 30 and 40,000 a night because there is an expectation that we are going to win in Cincinnati, and I think that's what it's all about. And I believe the moves that have been made, although unpopular at times, have been necessary in order to redirect this organization in the direction that it's going right now.
Check swing, ball in the dirt, no go. Brian Anderson walked to begin the second. Strike three called. 4 strikeouts for Andrew Abbott.
Well, Pops called it in the stands early. He said, you'll see a better version. Quit nibbling. Very efficient third inning. And so far in the fourth, getting after it.
First pitch, bounced to third. Newman. It's 9 in a row, retired by Andrew Abbott. Save big on 3-2-1 Tuesdays, presented by Budweiser and Bud Light. For all home games on Tuesday, fans can buy $3 beers, $2 hot dogs, $1 ice cream cups. Reds lead it by a run. Jonathan India has struck out today. Tehran misses in. Jim Day, you had a chance to chat with the Abbott family after your outstanding interview. And did I hear right? Did Mom Jeanette come up with the aha moment when she realized how good Andrew Abbott is?
Yeah, I asked Dad that question. He said he was talking T-ball, and Mom, believe it or not, was Andrew's catcher. She caught him up till he was 12 years old, and the sessions were so long, and some people can relate to this, that she sat on a bucket while doing it. Yeah, there she is. And at 9 years of age, he threw a ball that she didn't catch, and it broke that bucket, like right underneath of her. And she's like, "Ooh, he's pretty good." At 9.
That's a great story. Strike one on Spencer Steer, who is struck out.
And that's what I'm saying. You know, yes, Andrew is here in the big leagues, but all those stories, you know, it's just a small sampling what they're able to share, but so many great stories and so many sacrifices I'm sure Mom and Dad have had to make, as well as brothers, sisters, everybody in that support system, to make sure that he had those opportunities to go out there and play and get better.
Tehran fields his position, dispatches of Steer. That brings up Tyler Stevenson, who in his youth wore the Reds uni in his young career of boyhood. Struck out looking his first time. Reds are trying to get Tyler Stevenson right. The average has plummeted down to 235. David Bell showing good faith confidence, put him in as a pinch hitter earlier in the homestand. And you hope and think that he's maybe even one swing, one hit away from refound confidence and blossoming back into the outstanding talent we know him to be.
Yeah.
Goes foul.
Oh, stay fair. That'd have been a nice way to get it started, right? As a third baseman, you got to make a determination if this ball's going to be fair or foul. And Urias, if that ball stays fair, he has absolutely no chance to throw out Tyler Stevenson at first base. The decision by the veteran.
Count in Stevenson's favor. Hits the ball high in the air, deep right center. Gone! Home run number 3 and a 2-run edge for the Reds.
Got to feel good right there. Great swing by Tyler Stevenson, letting that ball travel. That's what we're used to seeing. He's been tapping a lot of balls to the left side of the infield. That time let it travel. Got those big arms extended. Bye-bye baseball.
So this marks only the 3rd time for the Reds in their last 55 games that multiple Reds have homered. Every other team has twice as many such occasions in that span. And I suppose to some extent it's a good bad thing, right? I mean, yes, you'd like to hit more homers. Homers win games, don't get me wrong. But I think it also underscores how aggressive the Reds have been. They have found ways to score enough runs despite that margin in home runs.
I'd much rather be that side of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to paint a scenario where, no, I'd rather have a bunch of guys that can launch the ball out of the stadium. Fairchild has one tonight. Strike 3 call. The Reds extend their lead. Stevenson can extend his hands and perhaps a breath of fresh air. Touchdown, Stevenson. Reds ahead. Two-zip Reds. Major league debut for Andrew Abbott, who has struck out 4. He has walked 3. Lark, he was near 30 pitches in the first inning. He was at 53 through 2. An 8-pitch third, an 11-pitch fourth has him back on track. And that ball lashed to center. What have you seen in him the second time through the order?
Yeah, I thought early it looked like he was missing with wide margins, maybe just a little amped. Certainly looks like he has calmed down. Much more pitch efficient.
Now, even when he battled some of those deeper counts in the first few innings, entering this fifth, of the first 15 batters he faced, 13 saw first pitch strike. So that gave him a little bit of wiggle room, even as he was a touch more off kilter. Now remember, the loudest contact, and there have been a few near misses that have been loud fouls, was probably from Joey Wiemer, who has been baffled since.
Yeah, Wiemer hit a long foul home run down the left field line. Well, strike down the left field line on a high fastball, and a really smart next pitch was a curveball that started at the same level and dropped off the table. It was a smart pitch. At the time I thought. And so a big part of, I think, pitching is reading the swings of the hitters. And I think Andrew Abbott does a nice job of that. Of course.
That is smashed and fair down the left field line. First base knock of the ball game for the Brewers as Wiemer spoils the no-no with a 1-out stand-up double.
Man, these two guys, I'm telling you, there's been some violence. But the strikeout. First time up, that time the double down the line. Wiemer wins that at bat.
So a man in scoring position. Blake Perkins struck out looking his first time. First pitch. Benson breaks. Makes the grab. Bluff at second. Strong throw. For Andrew Abbott, his mom's coaching went beyond his pitching. She was also his coach in his main away from baseball athletic activity for conditioning, swimming. He was a very successful and avid high school swimmer, much like Tyler Stevenson. Andrew's collegiate girlfriend also was a varsity swimmer at Virginia. And his mom was his usual tutor in the pool. Owen Miller is flying to right. He has bounced to second. India creeps at second base. That pitch is beautiful.
Yeah. That's a touch pitch. All speed breaking ball on the outside backdoor corner.
And that's at least the second time he's doubled them up after he's gotten strike one.
That's very dangerous, though. If you're going to miss, that's good that he missed above the zone.
Jammed him right to India.
Ballpark. It was the second annual Reds Catchers Camp. J.R. House leading the crew. 150 campers. Hey, when Corky Miller's called in, you know it's a big event. But how about a catcher getting this experience with a major league catcher right there to coach him? Luke Maley as well. They had 150 campers. They had to limit it to 150. It would have been more. And one of the really good things about it, it was both boys and girls.
J.R. House is a talented, enthusiastic teacher. And kudos to those Reds players for being part of it today. You changed lives today.
You're absolutely right. Use your platform to make it better for somebody else.
Fairchild was down 0-2, homered his first time. Solo shots in the third and fourth, the only run scoring in the game so far. Center field, Weimer. One away. If a Reds home run hits the Toyota hit and win sign during tonight's game, Paula Kime from Hamilton, Ohio will win the brand new built in the USA 2023 Tundra on display at Great American Ballpark. Register for your chance to win at your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. TJ Hopkins, his first big league hit, his first time. That came on a 2-strike pitch opposite Wayne. Kicks off the mound. Nice backhand, Miller. Bouncing throw, and Tellez picks it.
Well, unfortunate bounce right here. That ball doesn't bounce up. Probably it gets through the infield. That ball was hit hard. It's like the mound slowed it up for Miller to make a nice easy play.
Luke Maley hit the ball hard, bounced into a double play his first time. Borderline strike. So Andrew Abbott firing a one-hitter. He lost his no-no with 1 out in the 5th. In Philadelphia, Aaron Nola's got a no-no through 6 against the Tigers. Chopper over a leaping Tehran. Monasterio behind second. There's that man again. Is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Reds. Andrew Abbott has been awesome. A stellar big league debut to this point. He's gotten fly ball out to Monasterio twice. Three and 0. Abbott went more than 5 innings 3 times this year in the big leagues. Once during his dominant run at Double-A, and twice in the last couple of weeks at Triple-A. He has not thrown more than 97 pitches in an outing this year. He went 7 on Tuesday. Leadoff walk. Monasterio is a base stealer. Only 1 so far in his young big league career. 86 in the minor leagues. He was 11 of 13 at AAA this year. Breaking ball, strike to Contreras. You saw David Bell swivel on the bench. He now has Buck Farmer warming with Abbott at 90 pitches.
You know, John, before this inning starts, you know, the question is, how long do you let a young pitcher go in his debut? Obviously, he has a one-hitter going right now. He's cooking 80 pitches or whatever the number is. It's really, obviously, you know, depending on his health history, you have to take in consideration. But when a guy is out there competing, you let him compete. You want him to get out of here with a win. Assuming that the team wins the game, you want them to have a chance to win. And you want these guys, when they come to the big leagues, to understand that they're up here not to throw a pitch quota. They're up here to win a ball game. And I think that first experience on the mound is super important as far as setting the tone for how you're going to manage, how you're going to trust in the players.
Ground ball here would be great. We'll see if they can give him that level of trust, and he's been so efficient these last few innings as well. Give him that sense of belief. Let him get through this inning. Lands it, strike three.
Yeah, that's a great pitch right there, right at the bottom of the zone. Nice breaking ball. He's done a nice job of up and down, adjusting the eye levels of the hitters.
Throw to first, checks out Monasterio. Yelich, his first strikeout victim in the big leagues. Got him to finish with a flourish in the first. He's also grounded out to first base. Abbott himself, when he's been asked over the years about his stuff, cites his own four-seam fastball with that deceptive rise. You've seen that. You've talked about it some tonight in the swing choices.
Yes.
Runner goes, good jump, pitch fouled back.
Yeah, you get a guy that throws 94 miles an hour up in the zone. That's not, I mean, you know, it's significant, but it's not 100. And you feel like you can get on top of that 94 mile an hour because it's hitting speed. That's where it is right now. The guys that throw the ball up there, if it's a flat 94 miles an hour, you can get on top of it. If it's not, you get the swings and misses that we've seen at the top of the zone. He's got a good ride, good carry on his fastball, good finish.
Monasterio had a good jump, was off on that last pitch. Abbott ready for his 99th delivery. Fought foul. And Andrew Abbott's about to cross the threshold. He has never reached in pro ball, any level. He has never thrown 100 pitches in a professional game. .100. Fouled back. He labored some in the first couple, and I think you asterisk those significantly. You could feel the emotion from Abbott as his command was a little more elusive. Struck him out. Back-to-back Ks.
Another fastball. Finish. ride. And on the outside corner.
Brian Anderson has walked and struck out. Breaking ball did not quite have the snap. Anderson does have 8 home runs. Check swing went too far. The Reds' top pitching prospect. He owned Double-A. He rocked Triple-A. Tonight with 41 on his back. A number that once graced the jersey of the old left-hander Joe Nuxhall and Tom Seaver. He's trying to strike out the side. Skied to right. A majestic major league debut. Andrew Abbott with 6 scoreless one-hit innings. A dominant display by Andrew Abbott, who had to harness his own emotion, settled after 2 very good innings, and was spectacular the rest of the way. No runs, 1 hit, almost assuredly done north of 100 pitches. The high fives tell that tale. Kevin Newman, an infield hit, a walk. Tehran has been sneaky efficient. He only needed 6 pitches last inning. It's only a 2-run game.
Yeah.
Reds trying to snap a 4-game slide. Trying to avoid a sweep at the hands of the first place Brewers. Now these teams will get very familiar with each other in a critical stretch for the Reds if the Brewers hold on to this catbird seed. Ground ball to third. Arias. Tellez handles. And we'll get to that in a minute. Brief word from Miami Valley Gaming.
Shimmy on down and get ready to get lucky at Miami Valley Gaming.
Awesome.
But going back to it, the Reds and Brewers are not going to see each other again until straddling the All-Star break. It'll be 6 games that bookend around it. First pitch strike to McLean. 3 in Milwaukee going into the break. 3 here at GABP right out of the break. It'll start a span of 9 meetings in 19 days. And then they will not play again the rest of the year. Now, if you're trying to handicap the National League Central, good luck. The Pirates have won 5 in a row again, and they have held serve with the Brewers. They've been holding steady a half game out. I still think St. Louis is way better than the Cardinals have shown. The Reds will see that in the coming road trip.
So what you're saying is it's very winnable for absolutely everybody, no matter where you are.
Including the Reds.
Including the Reds.
Yeah, the Reds are very likely going to get even more offensive help, whether that's a productive and healthy Joey Votto, whether that's Ellie De La Cruz, whether that's Christian Encarnacion Strand. 1-2. And I also believe in Graham Ashcraft. I think he's going to get out of this funk. Hunter Green is coming off his 2 best starts of the year. Yeah, the Reds are right in this.
Yes.
But that's where those matchups with Milwaukee, which has been a nemesis. The Brewers have had the Reds number several years running. They've won 21 of the last 28. They've won 9 of the last 10 in this building. If you want to be in that conversation, you got to beat teams like this. And young men like McLean already seem to possess that kind of feel. I mean, heck, AAA has been a losing team for a long time, and they have spent the bulk of the last few weeks with a winning record. Strike 3 called.
Little two-seamer. Tehran perfectly spotted. Starts that ball on the outside off the plate. Have a tendency to give up early. It's a Greg Maddux pitch.
India has struck out, flied out. I think that Maddux guy knew a thing or two.
He did. The professor.
There are so many amazing stories about his prowess, his intellect.
I'm gonna tell you, man, I faced him in Denver, Colorado. I was playing for the Zephyrs in AAA, and he was with the Iowa Cubs. He was legit 94 to 96 miles an hour straight. And the next time I faced him, he was throwing wiffle balls up there and making it dance all over the place at 89 to 92 miles an hour.
And one of the central tenets of his pitching philosophy that Chris Welsh has shared before as well, he did not believe in waste pitches. He thought that was a ridiculous idea. Doesn't matter if I'm ahead 0-2. 0-2 is the worst count to hit in. He was ahead of his time in recognizing that.
Yeah, he was a bulldog. He would go right at you.
Full count on India. He homered in the series opener, drove in 3 in game 2. Payoff again. Cracked on the ground, base hit. The 2023 Scott's MLB All-Star ballot is now open. Vote daily, MLB.com/vote. Decide who represents your Cincinnati Reds at this year's Midsummer's Classic. Conversation at first and also one on the mound. Contreras out speaking with Tehran. It's only a 2-run game, but the outstanding Reds rookie Spencer Steer due up, and India the team's leader in steals with 12. I gave you some bad info earlier because there was an official scoring change. Jonathan India got credited very accurately with a second stolen base from the contest a couple of games ago. So the Reds are already part of a trio with the Rays and Pirates as teams who have had at least 15 steals in a 4-game span. They've done it in this one series. And Steer first pitch, flies to right. And it falls in. Anderson, mistime slide. India rounds third. Throw to the plate. And he's out. Brewers recover. Steer gets the hit to fall in. India cut down. Profile Andrew Abbott in his big league debut.
Early in the game, maybe a little emotional, but he certainly settled down. First 2 innings, quite a few pitches. Next couple, very pitch efficient. And David Bell giving him a chance to go out there and complete 6 innings. And it was all the pitches, the curveball as well as the fastball for the punch-outs. What a nice job. Welcome to the big leagues, Andrew Abbott.
Our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Buck Farmer is in.
So Buck in this series, you see his numbers on the season, has been really good out of the bullpen. Third of the inning last time he pitched here on Friday.
Gets Arias to pop out. So granted, there are some qualifiers there, but that graphic we showed, Reds pitchers to go 6 or more innings, to give up 1 hit or less, and no runs in their big league debut, going back to 1901, the modern era. Andrew Abbott, end of list. I mean, his big league debut, he threw 6 1-hit shutout innings.
Punched out the former MVP a couple of times. Christian Yelich.
0-2 on Tellez, who was flied to left, line to center.
He was just super impressive. Just impressive.
Tellez was the last man set down on a stretch of 10 straight retired by Abbott, who also became the first Red to go no through 4 in his debut since Johnny Cueto in 2008. Line to center. And caught by Fairchild. Bit of an odd scene here as it's been for most of the night. It had been sunny and it transitioned into this cloudy haze.
And I think Rowdy Tellez thought he hit that ball a little bit better than it traveled. Saw him as he was going to first base, kind of thought I hit that ball better than that.
Joey Wiemer has the only Brewers hit. A well-struck double to the left.
Joey Wiemer does not get cheated. And it's like when he swings, he doesn't just swing, he uses his entire body to get through that baseball.
And he was asked this year about changes he's made to his swing. Strike 2. Man, if Andrew Abbott had this strike zone, he'd probably go CG. But he said he changed a lot. There have been a lot of moving parts for Wiemer into the hitter that he stands at the plate as today. You can see the quizzical look from Buck Farmer, and I I feel him. Mash to left. One hop off the wall. Another wallop double for Weimer.
The location of that pitch, and this is what I'm talking about. Look at all this motion. There's a lot of moving parts in that swing. And when he connects, man, he hits the ball awfully hard.
So now at the tying run at the plate, pinch hitter. They yank back the switch hitting Blake Perkins and send up the left-handed John Singleton. Singleton made his Brewers debut a couple of days ago. Had last been to the big leagues in 2015. He singled and scored in that game. He was 0 for 4, but lined to center yesterday. Strike one. Singleton showed power in the minors this year. He had 10 home runs in 49 AAA games, and he drills this ball to center field, and it's not going to go either. Even shorter. 2-out double, stranded, 2-run lead intact. Parlay discussed on Reds Live. Andrew Abbott, 6 strikeouts. Matt McClain, no total bases just yet. No ribby yet for Jonathan India. But there is time. Bottom 7. Reds up 2. First pitch, Tyler Stevenson, opposite gap. Weimer over. 1 away. Owen Miller has moved from second base to left. They had hit for Blake Perkins. Abraham Toro was into the game at third base. And Luis Arias bumps over to second. And that's going to be all it appears for Tehran. So a pitching change. Hobie Milner is in. Dodgers Wednesday. Bark at the Park night thanks to Good and Fun, Dreambone, and Kroger. For more info, reds.com/bark. Reds up 2. The left-handed Will Benson due up. The left-handed Hobie Milner in.
Something you don't see every day in the big leagues. You got a left-handed sidearm guy. I don't know if you call him a submarine guy, but definitely an issue for left on left. 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball, and a changeup.
Benson pops it up. Monasterio. So Julio Tehran is on the hook despite a quality start. 6 1/3, 2 runs, 6 hits. He walked 1, struck out 5, gave up 2 solo homers. The first was hit by Stuart Fairchild, who swings and misses at the first pitch from Milner. Lucas Sims is up in the Reds pen. Sweeps in for a strike. Check swing, appeal, no. Now also consider the Brewers at top of the order due up in the 8th. And what is only a 2-run game. Struck him out. Cincinnati Reds baseball on Bally Sports Ohio is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by DHL Supply Chain. Now hiring a wide range of salaried, managerial, and operational roles. Apply today. Join DHL.com. Jose Barrero now in the game. He is at shortstop. Jonathan India has been removed from the game. Matt McLean is now in at second base. New pitcher Lucas Sims. Fastball elevated to Owen Miller. One and one.
Last time we saw Lucas Sims was Friday against these Brewers. He was dominant. Pitched an inning and punched out 2. Efficient 14 pitches.
High bounce. Tough play, and Newman loses on the transfer. I would think that'll be a base hit for Miller.
Yeah, this is a do or die play. What you try to do is try to catch it right into your throwing motion. Kevin Newman does just that. Just not capable of making the transfer. Nice effort.
Monasterio walked his last time. He's 0 for 2. Now, when Sims was used in that series opening game, that dominant inning came in the 8th. That was against batters 3, 4, and 5. He got Contreras to pop out, and then he struck out Yelich and Anderson back to back. Contreras is on deck here. Monasterio pops it up. McLean having trouble finding it, and Benson communicates. Nice job between the teammates there. Benson helps him out.
Kind of an ominous sky up there, John. You mentioned it earlier, kind of foggy. Easy to lose that ball if you take your eye off of it.
It's so dense, almost like driving in fog with regular headlamps, where it bounces back at you more than helps you find something in the darkness. Hard ground ball to third. Newman a clean pick. Feeds McLean 1. Double play. Under for runs at pregame was 9.5. It has plummeted to 2.5. Reds lead by 2. 8th inning. Trevor McGill is in. The Reds rocked him a couple of days ago.
He had a lot of trouble throwing strikes. It's a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball that sits at 99 miles an hour and a curveball. But had a lot of trouble locating that fastball.
It was 3 straight walks to begin that outing. Bases TJ Hopkins. Knuckle curve apparently missed. Hopkins, his first big league hit, his first time up. He bounced to second last time. Hard ground ball to third. Toro. One away. Bally Sports Ohio and the Cincinnati Reds would like to send out a special happy belated birthday to Shirley Beatrice. Hails from Union, Kentucky. Celebrated her 89th birthday yesterday. We hope the Reds can bring her home a victory tonight. Luke Maley. He's bounced into a double play and straight grounded out both times to short. The Reds have Alexis Diaz warming in their pen with a 2-run edge. It'll be Yelich, Anderson, Urias in the visiting ninth. Struck him out. Come for the Reds and Braves Friday, June 23rd. Stay for a fun post-game concert. Quinn 92, part of the Ohio Lottery post-game concert series presented by Duncan. Kevin Newman. McGill pumping far more strikes in this outing. His first pitch was ball one to Hopkins. It's been only strikes since. Bounces home. Struck him out. Open the door. Alexis Diaz will be on. Trying to bolt down a save. Game program before each Reds ball game tomorrow at 6:30. Brought to you by Ray St. Clair Roofing. Luke Weaver gets the ball in the opener against the Dodgers against Tony Gonsolin. Brandon Williamson opposes Noah Syndergaard. Graham Ashcraft the noonday game on Thursday, or noon pregame I should say, against Clayton Kershaw. 3-hitter in progress. Reds up 2. We're in the ninth and Alexis Diaz is in.
El Matador. How good has he been? 13 for 13. He has not allowed a run in any of his last 7 appearances. Hitters are 3 for the last 25 against Alexis.
Faces Christian Yelich. The Reds bullpen, Lark. The Reds lost the first 3 games of the series. The bullpen's been dynamite. 13 1/3 on the series. 1 earned run. 7 hits, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks. And the only runs came in the 11th inning on Friday.
And how many times have we said that this year? Those guys get a lot of credit. You know, going into the season, we talked about the starters, and the bullpen was somewhat overlooked, but guys have been just solid. Everyone.
Runs in. Yeah, I think at times bullpens as entities can be looked at as almost like umpires by certain pockets. of those watching the game. Swing and a miss. You notice them when something goes poorly, but if everything goes great, it's just part of the expected theater.
Absolutely.
This bullpen's been really good. They've been very impressive. And Diaz, the dominant force, struck him out.
Talk about finish on a fastball. That's what it looks like right there. Alexis Diaz. That ball comes out of his hand. It looks like it's going to be low with that ride and finish.
Slider gets a big swing and miss from Brian Anderson. Lark, the two best active save streaks in baseball. 22 straight save opportunities converted, 18 straight save opportunities converted. The former belongs to Alexis's brother, the injured Edwin Diaz of the New York Mets. And with him banged up, Alexis is the only active man on that list with 18 or more. 0-2. The strikeout success that Abbott enjoyed in the minor leagues, those video game numbers, that's been Alexis Diaz in the big leagues this year. Struck him out.
He's got the ball that runs in and away to both left and right-handed hitters, and that's what just makes him so dynamic. Really good slider down and away.
Luis Urias, strike one. Alexis Diaz is averaging almost 17 strikeouts per 9. That is bonkers. After the game, Reds Live, the post-game show from your local Toyota dealers, including word from Andrew Abbott. He's in line for the win after a dominant big league debut. Check swing, appeal, he went! Tumbled down on the pitch up and in, and Diaz strikes them all out. The Reds shut out the Brewers, their 4th shutout win of the year, a 2-0 final.
You hate to see you finish like that, but he definitely went around, probably no intent to swing. But the rules say if it passes a particular point, it's a swing. Alexis Diaz getting it done. Let's talk about the bullpen before we get to the star of the day, Andrew Abbott. What a rookie debut for this young man. You know, a lot of talk has been about these young starting pitchers. We're starting to see it here in Cincinnati. And although Jake Fraley, the guy in the middle of the lineup that's really been bringing the thump for this team, is not in the lineup today. Tyler Stevenson able to get on the board with a home run. Stuart Fairchild, so scoring runs without the big guy in the middle of the lineup is a good thing, but it's all about that starting pitching, and man, oh man, was it really good today.
The next wave is both here and more is coming. We still have more to come from Great American Ballpark. Shutout success for the Reds. 2-0.